Did you miss a phone number or website? Then here's your second chance, because we're going to list all of that information again. Then we'll be back to look for changes in Medicare. Ever had a time where you needed extra therapy following an accident or an injury, and you're worried that your Medicare insurance wouldn't cover it? Well, that might be all in the past now, due to some changes made by Congress. Here to explain is my law partner, Mike Solomon.
Hi, Lori.
So, what changed in the law?
Well, one of the things that happened is that the Medicare, as it previously existed, they would cover, there would be an annual cap on certain sort of expenses dealing with occupational therapy or speech therapy or just general physical therapy. The limit was each year $2,010. And if you went above that, you wouldn't be covered. So what happened every time is Congress, when they got close to the end of the year, would pass some sort of extension. So the trouble was people didn't know. So every year they'd go through that nerve-wracking period not knowing if all their physical therapy was going to be covered, or speech or occupational therapy. So they changed the law. And what happened was that this last budget bill that the president signed got rid of that limitation, that 2010 limitation. So now there's no limit, and it just depends on if it's medically needed and necessary, then it's approved and you're covered by Medicare.
Okay, well that sounds very promising for people. So were there any other changes that are of benefit to our viewers that happened in this last budget bill?
Yeah, the big one dealing with prescription coverage, Part D of Medicare, and that's really confusing anyway. As anyone
Yes, it always has been, you're right.
I know when I tried, figuring out what plan to get and all that, but one of the problems that they all had was is when you hit a certain point, you were covered by Part D, your prescriptions were covered, and then if you hit the infamous, I should say, donut hole, you had to pay 100% of your own costs. For some people, that could be thousands of dollars, so it could add up to a lot of money. So what Congress did in this last budget bill, that donut hole was scheduled to disappear, I believe in 2020. They accelerated it a year, so next year, 2019, they get rid of the donut hole. And then once you hit what used to be the donut hole, the government you're only out of pocket 25%. And then if you get above the donut hole, then you fall back into regular Medicare, and you end up just having Medicare take most of it, and you pay a little portion, depending, again, whether you use the Medicare Advantage or you're on a supplemental coverage. It's still complicated no matter what.
So it's important when you're first starting out with Medicare, or when you have that open enrollment time every year, to make sure your plan covers what you need.
Right. They suggest, and I'm going to be doing this myself, is to get all your medicines and look at the plan you have, because sometimes you find out your particular plan doesn't cover enough of that particular prescription. So
they have a formulary, right, for the prescription, so that your pill better be on that, or they're not going to cover it.
That's right. So if you're going to use the same medicine over and over again, then take the time before the end of the year. I think October is the time that you have that window to start look at the prescription plans out there and figure out what you need.
All right, and next year it'll be better.
Yes.
Thanks to Mike for explaining the new improved Medicare rules stemming from the new budget bill. The changes provide security for payment of therapies for Medicare recipients, plus reduces the cost of prescriptions as the drug companies just continue to raise those costs. This is good medicine. For more information, contact Mike. His number's next.
Call Solomon, Steiner and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information, or to schedule a speaker for your organization, or log on to www.ssnplaw.com.
Thanks for joining us. On next week's show, senior resources at your fingertips, plus a personal EMS senior outreach program, and the best time to take Social Security. But until then, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
If you'd like to join our kitchen conversation, visit our website, www.goldenopportunities.tv. Like us on Facebook. Call us at 440-742-GO-TV or email us at kitchen@goldenopportunities.tv. We'd love to hear from you.
Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.